So I want to take a couple minutes to talk about Salesforce Foundations. Now, this is something that's come out a little while ago, but there's definitely been an accelerated push by Salesforce, by your sales reps, I'm sure you're experiencing, to get this into your order forms, okay? Foundationally, fundamentally, it's a no-cost offering that comes with a lot of opportunity for yourselves to test and taste, but also a lot of opportunity to get Agentforce Data Cloud deals into the order forms, i.e. they can report, Benioff can report wins or customers as soon as you put it in your order form. So even though it's no cost, there's a massive win, a massive benefit to Salesforce, to your sales rep, to get this as part of your order form. So do not lose sight of that. Even though it's $0, it's extremely important and it carries leverage if used correctly. So what comes with it? Let's talk about those pieces. Now there are other Agentforce and Data Cloud 360, Data 360. Now there are other pieces tied to Marketing Cloud and commerce as well, which I'm not going to spend any time on specifically today, but you can certainly look into that as well. So you get 200,000 Einstein requests. You get 100,000 Agentforce Flex credits. And this has been around for a while, so some of you may be talking still in conversations, or your order forms may have conversations. That's typically about 1,000 conversations come with the Salesforce Foundation, the $0 no cost. There's 10,000 Data 360 segmentation and activation credits. But here's the thing. Or actually, let me dive in on the Data 360. Let's not forget, there's also Data 360 provisioning, like that offer that Salesforce put out there. That's, again, $0, and it comes with 250,000 data service credits. So many of these order forms, many of these positions that Salesforce is taking, it's not just Salesforce Foundations. You're going to hear about Data 360 provisioning as well. Concept is all the same. $0, incredibly important to Salesforce and your sales rep. Here's an issue. Inside of your order form, there's going to be a provision, or if there isn't, you should have this, relative to what happens when you eclipse the volumes inside of your Salesforce Foundation or your Data 360 provisioning. In other words, free only lasts for so long. Okay, so I would highly recommend, one, getting the clarity relative to what happens, what is the usage rate, how is it billed, typically monthly in arrears, and negotiate those usage rates, negotiate those overage rates now. Make them give those commitments now, okay? Ensure that you're also getting commitments or transparency in the order form relative to what is a conversation, what is an Einstein request, what is a flex credit, how is it counted. These are all things I've been talking about for a while. Typically in these order forms, you're gonna see things like references to links. Doesn't work. It should never work, by the way. Force the clarity inside of your order form. Again, I get it $0 and you may never eclipse these volumes. Fine, but use this point in time to not only ensure you have the transparency in those overage rates, I would use this point in time to make sure the things that are part of your renewal, as an example, the other things you're doing should be also accounting for this win that they're getting. Lowering the improving the discount, lowering any overage or uplift that they're applying at renewal, so forth and so on. Make sure you have renewal protection. So what happens at the end of your order form relative to Salesforce Foundation? Is it still going to be available to you? Do the counts reset? Have that transparency. And here's another key piece to this. You have to make sure, and I'm telling you, I'm imploring every customer of Salesforce's, whether you're going through the Salesforce Foundation or you're going all in on Agentforce or tasting Agentforce or whatever it may be, Data 360, anything that's consumption-based, flywheel-based, which is incredibly important to Salesforce. It's incredibly important because they put markers out to that financial community that this is how we're going to grow our revenue up to 60 billion. It's the hockey stick. It's the flywheel effect. You have to make sure you have internal controls. You have to have internal processes in place to ensure that you're tracking your own usage. Everyone understands that when they taste, it draws down on your counts. Too much tasting leads to unexpected dollars. You have to be sure that you have those internal processes in place. So again, nothing wrong with the offer, but there's problems with transparency. There's problems with what happens later. There's problems with them calling it no cost, so therefore you shouldn't be getting anything extra. Well, that doesn't work. And there's problems because they know that these are things that are going to potentially, and they're counting on, lead to more revenue and lead to situations where Salesforce is going to have leverage downstream.